Hey, good afternoon. So on the way home, I was running a little late. Susan was already here and called and said, "Hey, what do you want for supper?" "What do we have?" "Well, we have stuff." And there's always stuff in the refrigerator or the freezer or in the pantry. And we remembered from the first episode, remember, we put some biscuits in the freezer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we do this. If you're in a hurry and you've already pre-made some biscuits, you froze them, you put them in the freezer. When something like this happens, hey, what do you want to have for dinner tonight? Hey, how about maybe biscuits and gravy, some eggs, maybe some cheese grits with bacon in them. And it's like, okay. And this way, you don't have to mess up the kitchen making biscuits because they're already in the freezer. So, look at this. Just enough. I don't even know if these are going to wind up. I know there'll be enough. So, look at this. These are the ones that we made on the very first episode. And we made 5. And these we cut out. We froze on a cookie sheet. And then once they're frozen, we put them in a Ziploc bag and we can keep them. But if you freeze them on a cookie sheet, then you notice how they just kind of came out and they're not all stuck together. So my recommendation is once you cut them out, put them on a cookie sheet or more. And then once they're frozen, then put them in a bag and then you can just have them in the freezer, good to go anytime. You preheat your oven just like you would regular store-bought homemade biscuits. And then you preheat your oven and put them in there. And then about, we'll probably be eating breakfast or dinner. We'll probably be having biscuits and gravy in about 17 minutes. So that gives us, it'll give enough time for these to cook. And it'll give us enough time to cook everything else that's going to go on and with the biscuits. So let's go ahead and put these in. Now we can start and whatever's on sale. You don't have to have Smokies or sausage or whatever, but you can, because once I pull these up, that's what I'm going to use in the pan to make my gravy. So you'll need something like that. And then I'm going to make some cheese grits. These are not instant grits, but they are 5-minute grits, which is good enough for us because once you embellish them a little bit, they're going to be delicious. So we'll see you back in a few minutes after we have everything ready. Thanks. Hey, well, I'm going to flip this over, and the biscuits should be done. So while that finishes, make sure everything's off. And here we go. Let's see how we did. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Y'all, like I said, if you make some homemade biscuits and put them in the freezer and you bake them like we did the very first ones, it's possible that you can have delicious biscuits anytime you want. Anytime you want. All right, now I do have some more butter in here, so I'm going to put some and move them over because I want some butter on the bottom. Oh yeah. You can be generous. Yeah, okay. All right, we'll put that there for now. Let's get this egg out of here because we want it perfect. Susan likes her eggs perfect. I do too. All right, put that on a coaster. Now, to be honest, it took about 23 minutes to get all of this, and that's the biscuits. This right here, this is delicious. Look at this. These are cheese grits, and you can still see, when I make cheese grits, I use really good chunks, but I also put a little bit of cream cheese in there to make them extra creamy and delicious. So that way, when you have leftover biscuits, you see that chunk right there? A big chunk of cream cheese. I mean, it's melted and soft, but it's going to be awesome. But the biscuits, let's just see. Look at this. Just to show you, these are just as light and fluffy and airy as the others. Put a little bit of gravy and maybe a few sausages. And I know some people don't like this, but I like sometimes to have the sweet and savory. So I like to kind of drizzle just a little bit of honey on the biscuit, not too much, because I like the savory part of it too. And I know it seems like everything might be the same color, but we have all the food groups. There's vegetables, because these are grits, and those are awesome. But this biscuit with the gravy, yeah, we won't have any biscuits left over. We'll have some grits for breakfast and for lunch maybe, but the rest of it, it's going to be delicious. So I'm telling you, if you've already made up some biscuits, you have them in the freezer. As soon as you get in the door, go ahead and set your oven on. Have it start preheating. Go get changed. Get comfortable. Put your biscuits in the oven, and while you're cooking your biscuits, go ahead and cook other stuff: grits, bacon, eggs, scrambled it. However, be creative, because the star is not really the biscuit. Although, if you're going to have gravy and biscuits, breakfast, it would be nice to have biscuits, okay? And you already have them in the freezer. So enjoy them, because whenever you have them, you can have biscuits any day you want. And I didn't even have to clean up a big mess in the kitchen. We'll just wash it all up and put it in the dishwasher. Yay for us. So next time, when you tune in, hey, we're still in the kitchen and we're still making delicious biscuits. See you next time.